This is the Algebra 1 Whiteboard Challenge in the fall of 2024. So if you've never played this game, it's a lot of fun and a nice way to review some of the concepts from the first semester of our Algebra 1 course. So let's get started. The first thing you'll do is give each student a packet of questions, and you can make up your own or you can use the one that I've provided for you. These are free and it will be linked on the Technomath website. But these are just basic items that you might have on a quiz or test or in an assignment in your class, and a variety mixed up and several pages of items. What you'll do is you'll randomly call out an item from this packet. And don't go in order, but just skip around. And when you call out a number, the students rush to work that problem in their teams. Each team will have a whiteboard, one whiteboard, and one marker. And one of the students will write the answer and the work, if you want it, on a whiteboard and place it face down on their desk. When I say time's up, and I don't really time these, I let all the students have pretty much as much time as they need within reason. I say, okay guys, let's reveal our answers, and they'll all reveal them at the same time, and I will award them points if they got it correct or if they got it partially correct. So I may make an item worth 3 points and they get 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. Some of the items in the packet, as you will see, have many parts, like 3 or 4 sections. For this packet anyway, and so I usually award 1 point for each of the questions if it's one of those. Now when they get their points, they actually don't keep them. They assign their points to another team, and this is where it gets extremely loud. Some kids can't handle it. I've had to cancel the game one time out of all the years I've done this. One group of kids just absolutely got mad at each other, and I said, y'all, this is supposed to be fun. So if your kids are getting mad at each other and they're taking it too seriously, they may not be able to do this, but for the most part, there's a lot of laughing and a lot of fun. So hopefully your kids will enjoy this game, and they don't even realize it, but they're reviewing a lot of concepts in a very engaging way. So let's take a look at the way that I manage this game. So when the teams walk in, or the kids walk into the room, they see team 1 through 6 on the board. And by the way, this numbering's kind of weird, but that's the way I have my desks in the room arranged. I have team 1 in the corner to the front and team 4 in the corner to the back. And anyway, they see this and they know right away we're doing a whiteboard challenge, and so usually they get really excited. I try to do one a semester, usually right before semester exam, because it's a fun thing to do and a quick way to review some items. So down here in the bottom, you see this little board is numbered just like the teams up here. And what I do is I'm looking at this backward. That's why it's numbered backwards. So I'm facing them. And what I do is I write on the board the number of points. So you'll see these teams 2, 2, 2. I think that's a 1 and a 2. And so I call out their number and I write it on that board, and they see what they've got. And then I go around. I start with team 1 in the first round, and then team 2 has to go first, and then team 3 has to go first to tell me who to give their points to. That way it's kind of balanced, because some of them don't want to go first, because when you give another point a team, they immediately want to turn around and give you a point in return. So it's kind of a strategy. You may notice I circled 3 or 4 of the teams. That's at the end of the class period, and they actually tied. I didn't tell them they could tie. I didn't say anything about it, but they did, so they won the whiteboard challenge. You can give them a prize, or you can just have bragging rights, however you want to do it. We did a kind of a combination of that. Now there's another board right here, and basically as they work an item on the packet, I'm working the item too, and I keep it face down on my desk so they can't see it. And once I've called time, I put mine up so they can see if they got it or not, and to see how to work the items. So that's just a quick way for them to review and to write answers as we're going. So there shouldn't really be any, work to do after the game's over. They've got everything done, and I'll just take up their packets and do a quick, a free 100. Everybody did their work today. So just a little practice. That's just how I do it. You can do it however you want, but I usually do work the items when the round is over, so they can correct them as they go. I do keep a tally, and this is how I do it, but you can do this game however you like. This is just how I manage it. I've seen it done other ways, but I have never seen it boring. It is loud. You might want to warn your neighbors. We're going to play this game today, and they might get a little boisterous, so I apologize up front. But it's a really, if they are taking exams in the classrooms next to you, you may not want to do this on that day. So choose a day where it's not critical that you be super quiet, because it's almost impossible to keep them quiet once they start awarding these points. And that is how we play the whiteboard challenge. Now, I've given you two more activities to go along with this assignment. I did not give you slides this time. This should take a full class period. But if you have another day before the exam, and you know the way our classes were, we may have 2 days of exams or 3 days, and my classes were on different schedules, so one class would be taking an exam and the other would not. So I'm throwing in a couple more activities for you to give them something to work on in case you need it, but you may not need it. So use these if you need it. So we're going to go first to Mathagon. So this is the Mathagon lesson, and the title of it is Carbon Dating, and it basically goes through the history of carbon dating and how archaeologists use it to date very old artifacts. It's very interesting, and it does let them review some exponential decay. It talks about a half-life and how that works. I definitely skipped all that when I taught this, so it will not appear in an assignment. This may appear in an Algebra 2 class, I'm sure, but I did not cover any of that in your content, so they don't have to know this, but it is a nice application, and it does give them a chance to practice again writing equations to represent exponential decay. This also has the fraction and the exponent, which we've also not done, but they really kind of need to do it. So we'll probably go through some of that next semester. We did not do it this semester. This is another graph, exponential decay, and I really love these because you can just move your mouse along the curve and see the points. Very nicely done. And then they're talking about a little mass spectrometer in Oxford. Just very fascinating. Some kids will love it, some won't. I mean, the kids that love history and this sort of thing might get a kick out of it. And there is no next unit. They have not developed the exponential growth and decay unit. So that's it. That's the entire lesson. And so that'll take you, I don't know, a quarter to a half a class period probably to get through that. And then I have one really quick, simple practice problems in graspable math. So here's an activity in graspable math that I've created. It only has 5 questions, but these goal state problems will not have the answers visible. So when they go in here, there is no answer down here. They just have to solve it. And tell them their goal is to keep these steps as low as possible. So maybe compared to your teammate, is their number significantly lower than yours? Maybe you need to reset and try again and see if you can get that number low. So they're just doing the distributive property, combining like terms. They're going to have to use fractions. This one does have the goal state on there. This one does not. And this one does have the goal state on there. So 2 of them do, but the others do not. So this concludes the last lesson in the fall of 2024. Next up is our semester exam. Y'all have a great day.